I have been saying this for years now, that Linux is the future of PC gaming. The problem is there really hasn't been a big gaming-centric corporation representing Linux until very recently with Valve. Valve has been trying to push the Linux desktop for gaming for quite some time now. They have had some failures along the way, like the Steam machines and the Steam controller, but in the past year with the Steam Deck, I believe they have struck gold for Linux gaming. The Steam Deck is a true contender and competitor to the Switch and other handheld PCs alike, and what Square has just announced is proving this theory to be correct. In case you missed it, Square Enix has announced that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is now available on Steam, and with that announcement they also announced that it's also playable on the Steam Deck. Now this is a huge deal. Now why is this such a huge deal, you might ask? Historically, Linux has been the outcast in the PC space, the seed that never grows, if you will. The general consensus is that Linux is only used by computer nerds or hackers, and while part of that is true, the reality of it all is that Linux is much bigger than that. It's used all over the world and in many devices that you probably didn't even think about, like your microwave or even your toaster. Linux runs most of the servers on the web and even runs the International Space Station. Linux is everywhere, except for the gaming space. A lot of Linux PC enthusiasts have been pushing these corporations for years to make their games playable on Linux, and most, if not all of our pleas have fallen on deaf ears, which is really sad if you really start thinking about it. But the corporations aren't really to blame here. They're out to make money, and when Windows has a market share of 75% while Linux is at 2.5%, they're going to make games for Windows, not Linux. They're out to make as much money as possible from the products they produce, so making a game or a product for Linux just doesn't really make sense to them, until now. With the push from Valve and the awesome reception of the Steam Deck, and also the fact that the Steam Deck is shipping out of the box with Linux, big companies are being forced to respond by porting games to Linux or making them work well with Proton for the Steam Deck and inadvertently for the Linux desktop. Square Enix announcing Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming to the Steam Deck is just another big push to make Linux a mainstream gaming platform. Everything that I've been saying about the Steam Deck outside of YouTube is starting to prove itself correct. We are witnessing a monumental shift in the gaming industry, and I believe that in the very near future, other big gaming companies like Capcom, Sony, and even Microsoft, who own just about everything these days, are going to be making games for both Windows PCs as well as Linux PCs. There is still a lot of work to be done here, but this is a very nice step in the right direction. If you liked this video, be sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel, some of which you can click on right now. But until next time guys, I'm Joshua for the Love of Games, signing out. Have a great day.